Yeah. Yeah. What's up? What's good? What's popping? What's cracking? What's percolating? What's really good in the hood? It is your, as y'all have so graciously bestowed upon me, yo, Wakanda Griot, Theo B. Yeah, we in. What a week it was Wednesday. This been one of them weeks too. Yeah, before we begin, y'all come on in. Before we begin, like, share, subscribe. You like, leave a comment. You don't like, leave a constructive. Constructive. I feel like I got to say that. Constructive, because sometimes, you know what, I'm not going to act like that. Folks know what constructive means. Your folks know what constructive means. That's it. I think we got a great show tonight. I know coming in a little bit later than what we normally do. We got a lot going on this week. Yeah. We are moving. Voucher been, taken care of and everything like that. So yeah, we doing stuff, and in the midst of doing stuff, we still try to do stuff for the Rock With Me Nation. So yeah, y'all pull on up. I think we got a great show. Matter of fact, I'm not going to say that. I know we got a great show tonight because it's with the Rock With Me Nation. Yeah. Great show tonight. We got a list of topics and everything like that. I think you're going to find interesting. So without further ado, you ever tried to get your glasses clean and they just ain't working out? You got that one smudge print that just it ain't going nowhere. It's just going to make life difficult. No, we can't be doing that. Anyway, so let's get on round up in here and everything like that. Pull on up. I see we at 0. I ain't never heard of a 0 being a hero, but I see we got 0. If we got 1, that's enough to have some fun, right? Everybody else just have to wait. I know y'all might be like, Theo, this is low-key your fault. This is low-key your fault, Theo, because you didn't pull up like you supposed to. You didn't give out proper warning. I get all that. We gonna listen. Don't miss the good stuff though, because folks be like, damn, I hate I missed that one. Let me make sure we're live. Yeah, I see me. Let me make sure we're live. I hear me. That mean we live. That mean we live. Well, you know what? I ain't coming in here to belabor the point. No, I ain't gonna do all that. I got a schedule to keep. I got stuff to do. So with that said, let's go ahead and take a look at what we got going on for tonight's show. Like I said, I believe we got a great show. I will leave it up to you to decide that or debate that, because that's one of the topics we're gonna be talking about. Yeah, Avengers DoomsDay trailer. Been getting asked a lot of questions about that over there on TikTok. We're going to make it officially known tonight on YouTube. Yeah, the San Diego Comic-Con. My thoughts on San Diego Comic-Con, Marvel news and expectations. Yeah. Also, Chadwick Boseman's legacy, because I know y'all saw it. The estate issue. Yeah, we're going to get into that. The Rock With Me Nation way. We're not going to be like some other folks. The new Avengers, T'Challa's role and why it matters. Y'all know I'm covering Secret Wars right now. Remember I was covering New Avengers? Right. We're going to get into it. Also, Feige, a loser regarding Blade. I don't know how you fumble the bag. Like, I don't know. He ain't got no friends. I don't know. Never mind. We're going to spend a block on that. Marvel Legends, Doomsday Wave. Success leads to the comics. Yeah, because y'all going to be hurting. Y'all, shout out to Kimoyo King. Folks really don't know what it takes to make a movie successful. I'm worried. Not that folks not going to like it. You can like this movie and it still not beat the budget. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Also, The New Breed and The Nation. Coming soon. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. And facts. Karen and Non-Debatable. Not Karen. Caring. caring. Like, facts don't care. Facts don't care whether you care or not. They really don't. They don't give two doggone. That said, y'all pull on up. I see we got 3 people in here and everything like that. I was raised with some manners. I'm coming back from the store, right? It's a young lady heading towards me, right? She walking, I'm walking, right? I'm walking on the right side where I need to be. She walking on the right side where she need to be, right? We're supposed to come by each other and everything like that. I shift all the way to the outside. She's like, we could have shared the sidewalk. I say that wasn't the problem. I say the problem was you supposed to be on the inside. See how we do that there? Yeah. Even when I walk by you, you need to be on the inside. We can switch them lanes up when we get back where we're going. But yeah. But anyway, because I don't think we practice that anymore. I see we got 2 folks in here. Like I said, I ain't gonna be rude. I was taught better than that. Let me see who we got in here. Well, I see 2 people pulled up. Ain't nobody said nothing. Safe space. You don't have to. It's a safe space. We don't require that people reveal themselves and everything like that. That said, let's go ahead and get this show on the road because you got stuff to do. I got stuff to do. Let's go ahead and make it do what it's gonna do. Avengers Doomsday. You know what? Wasn't bad. Well, it wasn't bad. I seen Patrick Stewart. I think I seen. I ain't seen Ian McClellan. I got me some Christopher Evans, right? Got that. Got I don't know if that is Robert Downey Jr. in the Doomsday suit, in the Dr. Doom suit. It ain't got to be, right? It ain't got to be. But if it is, we seen him. We seen Chris Hemsworth. We saw the Fantastic Four. We saw Shuri. We saw M'Baku. We saw the Dora Milaje and everything like that. We saw Namor. And speaking of Namor, this beat is catch-22 right here. So if you're a comic book fan, you know Namor's daddy is Scottish. He's from Boston, Massachusetts. His first name is Leonard. You know that. You know his mama is straight up Atlantean. You know that too. You knew as a comic book fan, when they dropped Black Panther 2, you knew that they dropped a miniseries to go right along with that movie, in which Namor was still very much half Atlantean, half human, with his human side having Scottish origins. Why folks arguing that they stripped Namor of his identity? Why folks looking at how he looked in this new movie, saying that he got stripped of all his ethnicity? And I'm like, so you went to go see a movie in 2022 and you ain't do nothing with the character since then? Like, you ain't read up on the character. You ain't read, because to go that hard in the paint, saying that the character got colonized because they took his jewelry off and took the earrings off, I'm thinking you had to have read up on that character, studied up on that character, became knowledgeable. You got to have that much passion in your heart to say, oh, they didn't colonize the character. The only thing worse than being loud is being loud and wrong. That's the only thing worse than being loud. But to me, as a comic book fan, it makes me double back on the question. Why they race swapping? If you was going to race swap him in the movies, you know what you should have did? You should have walked right over from the live action part of the business, walked right over to the comic book side of the house and said, switch his ethnicity. He's no longer half Scottish, half Atlantean. That's what you should have said. Would nobody be able to say nothing now? But you didn't say that. You didn't say that. Now folks arguing. What we arguing for? It's either canon or it's not. It's either canon or it's not. Well, what's the argument for? Can't be argued. You can't be argued. What's going on, Charlene? What's going on, Shaolin Joe in the building? What's going on? And what you it either is or it isn't. I don't and we're using smart devices to show the whole world. Sometimes we lacking smartness. That's crazy. Anyway, moving right along. Moving right along. So, Avengers Doomsday trailer, like I said, it hit. I see what the fuss is about. I do. I see why folks like it. I do. And I've been asked how I feel about it. I'm a comic book fan. I know it looked nice. It do look nice, but I don't know how to not acknowledge the other stuff. Like I don't know how to look at this trailer and folks telling me what's going on, and I read the comic books because I keep going back to the comic books. I'm like, I hear you, I see you, and I expect this movie to do some amazing numbers week one. You see what I just said, right? Kind of like the Fantastic Four, kind of like Deadpool and Wolverine. I expect this movie to do some great numbers week one, week two. And I want us to think about how the narrative changed in almost 24 hours. Because Emergency, Awesome, Everything, Always was just saying last week, out of almost 3 hours worth of footage, they couldn't find the plot. Did we forget that? Because you know what? Hold on, I don't want to do that. Hold on. Let me use this smart device right here. Let me see. Everything always. Yeah, let me get right here. Yeah, let me get right here. Everything always. Let me go videos and everything like that. Breaking. Breaking. Did Tom Holland, Spider-Man. Avengers Doomsday a mess. Yeah, just 8 days ago. Yeah, just 8 days ago. I'm gonna grab this right here. I didn't report that. He reported that. Sure did. Let me come on right here. I'm gonna sit that right there for the whole world to see. That was just 8 days ago. Just 8 days ago. Now I'm telling you why I'm saying that, because you saw the trailer. The trailer is footage put together. You saw the trailer consists of a few clips of film. That's what the trailer consists of. The same dude is telling you the trailer is fire. Same dude just told you 8 days ago the majority of footage that they ain't got nothing. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. That wasn't me pressing the hype button. I don't run behind the MCU like that. I don't. The same dude who telling you now, I don't give a doggone what anybody say. If you think the movie ain't gonna do well, you can miss me with that. You just said 8 days ago it wasn't gonna do well. You just reported 8 days ago it was gonna be a mess. And who we think know more about what Marvel got going on? Me, the Griot, who's way over here, or him, Emergency Awesome, who got a front row seat? If not, come on, inside knowledge, right? Well, crazy what we do in 8 days. It's crazy what we do in 8 days, because he's telling you the majority of the footage is a mess. Just out of a few clips that we've seen in what, a 2-minute trailer. Oh, did we? Okay. You like it, I love it. I ain't saying. I'm just saying, like, I ain't saying, because see, I'm not where he at. I'm just telling you what he said 8 days ago. Right. So you like it, I love it. I'm not knocking the movie. I'm not. I saw some stuff. You saw some stuff, right? Sam team look kind of slim. It's crazy because I'm like, Well, where's you? So no Wong. Wong ain't. I thought Wong not on the team. You ain't got Wong. But what about your boy? Your boy that took over the Falcon. He not on the squad. All you got is Ant-Man. Damn. Like you ain't nobody else. You couldn't even get Bucky from the Thunderbolts. That's your homeboy. You couldn't even get him to come back. Damn, that's Spider-Man? No. Ain't no more heroes. No Luke Cage. No Daredevil. Couldn't get him signed up. What about She-Hulk? She ain't want to join up either. It's crazy. It's crazy. So ain't nobody else want to join Sam's team of Avengers but the Falcons. What about Shorty? He couldn't hit up because he been getting vibranium from her and from Wakanda. He couldn't get her and M'Baku to link up. Okay. All right. What about Jessica Jones? Oh, she got a baby. Okay. All right. What about Zemo? Last we saw him, he was doing the Cupid Shuffle. No? All right, damn. Just two Avengers, huh? Damn, that's crazy. We get to see Reed. He got on the little white jacket. I thought that was an homage to them actually having on white uniforms when this first kicks off and everything like that. Yeah, but I get it. If you're excited, I absolutely understand why. This is not where we gonna bash. We're not gonna do that. I saw what you saw. Shout out to James Marston. My dog got on the Cyclops uniform and everything. Don't he look good in that blue and yellow? Don't he look good? Don't he look good in the Jim Lee outfit without the tights? See, we don't need the tights. We've never needed the tights. I don't know who sick fetish that is, but we don't need that. We wear trousers, pants. We're not wearing our drawers on the outside. I don't know who that was for. That ain't. I'm gonna say this right now. That ain't ever made sense to me as a kid. I don't care. No. Batman all black. Yeah, that makes sense. Batman, black man. Lord have mercy. Batman with gray on and some blue tights, black tights out on the outside. That ain't never made sense to me. That ain't. And I used to wear underoos. That ain't ever made sense to me. Never. Moving right along. What's going on? We're gonna keep the party rolling. We are gonna keep the party rolling because I came in here for a good time, not to be confused with a long time. I got my coffee right here. This is a strange craving. I got my coffee right here. I got my cherry Coca-Cola right here, and I got me some windmill cookies. I know. Hey, it is what it is. Moving right along. San Diego Comic-Con Marvel news. What are my expectations? We got a few movies coming out, don't we? We do. That's Spider-Man Brand New Day, right? You got Avengers, DoomsDay, right? And although I haven't been notified yet, I keep checking my email. They got a Black Panther 3 scheduled. You ain't talked to me yet. You ain't talked to me yet. I don't know why you didn't clear Black Panther 2 with me. You didn't. You didn't say, hey Grio, how you feel about Black Panther 2? I would have told you to wait. I would have told you to wait. I'd have said, push this down the road so you ain't got to answer no questions right now. Just think about where you would be at right now if Black Panther 2 came after Secret Wars. Ain't nobody asked you to do all that. Folks was mourning. Folks was in mourning. You decide to pull the trigger. Okay, well, I've been asked, do I think Shorty will perish during DoomsDay? I will say what I told people on TikTok. Nobody that's from the recast T'Challa camp ever said Shuri should pass away. Ain't nobody from recast T'Challa camp ever said Shuri ain't been a Black Panther. Ain't nobody ever said that. Just like ain't nobody from recast T'Challa said Tosin or Toussaint should replace Shuri. Because I'm from that camp. We ask for the lore to be respected. We understand that it's supposed to be both of them, not one or the other. We know that. It's the anti-recasters that act like they don't know that it's supposed to be both of them. So me for mine, if Shuri is deleted, that cheapens her story in the comic books. That takes away from her story in the comic books because she wasn't just written to be a female replacement for T'Challa. There's some depth there to that character that's been largely ignored in the MCU. The MCU then wrote themselves into a hole. Well, should you delete Shuri just to make room for T'Challa or just to make room for T'Challa Jr., you're going to upset quite a few people, and quite a few of them going to be from the recast T'Challa camp. Should have did it right. Should have did it right. So, am I going to go see the movie? No. Would I be a fan of them deleting Shuri? No. They would be deleting Shuri, in my opinion, for no other reason. And that's not the reason why that character falls in battle to Proxima Midnight. It ain't just to make room for T'Challa. That's not what that is. So to have her be over here in the MCU, I think that would be disrespectful to the character. I think that would be disrespectful to Letitia Wright. But hey, what do I know? I do not work for them. I'm just your Wakandan griot. Let me keep up with these notes. I see more and more people pulling up. I thank y'all so much. Kimoyo King is in the building. What's going on? Kugler bottom botched things badly. You know what, Kimoyo, I'm going to adjust my criticism on Ryan Coogler, and I'm going to adjust it in this fashion. It is his responsibility to know about and care about the project that he's getting ready to undertake. It is his responsibility, right? But no differently than I would look at Jerry Jones in regards to the Dallas Cowboys. No differently than I would look at the dadgum. I'm drawing a brain fart and everything like that. The Rooney family when it comes to the Steelers, because the buck stops right there. The buck stops right there with Kevin Feige. I didn't heard what he said about he wanted to recast the character, but the cast and crew told him no. The cast and crew don't outrank you. The cast and crew don't outrank you. You outrank the cast and crew. You're supposed to be there to make the tough calls. You don't get caught up in emotions. You deal in logic. Logically speaking, you would have said, okay, the actor passed away. We're gonna pay our respects. We're not gonna talk about no sequel right now. That's the logical thing to do. That ain't what you did. That ain't what you did. I'm gonna say it one more time. Recasters, those who wanted the character recast, never asked for a sequel either. What you heard folks say from beginning to end was do not delete the character. Nobody said give us a sequel. Nobody said kill off Ramunda. Nobody said F Shuri. No, what they kept saying was, we kept saying was, do not delete T'Challa. All that other stuff that's out there, that's coming from Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios, the cast and crew, and anti-recasters. Recasters were very, very specific in their request. Do not delete T'Challa. Recasters even gave solutions. Send him off to the intergalactic empire. Send him off on a life lesson. Like, let that dude go on a walkabout. send that dude to New York. The craziest thing was what is it, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, that video game that nobody checked for, had a part where you could play as Black Panther, and the dude literally pieces out at the end of that particular video game. He leaves Shorty sitting on the throne. He pieces out. In Marvel comic books, the dude literally left Wakanda and went to Hell's Kitchen with Shorty on the throne. If you in Wakanda taking that perspective, that point of view perspective, you don't see T'Challa for a minute. You don't see T'Challa for a minute. Speaking of that, all right, shout out to Fly High Chris. I'm finna mention names. Marwa Ayodele. Marwa Ayodele. What you wanted for Aurora, for her to be viewed as a goddess, the writing, hey, the only thing that I questioned was issue 3. I done heard some other folks question some other decisions. But because of what you did in issue 3, Aurora, along with the rest of the X-Men, are nothing but a bunch of horny laughing stocks in social media. There is a dude right now, Fly High Chris just did a video, I want to say about maybe an hour ago, where one of the things you got to do, it's a joke, but the fact that it's a joke sitting out there, one of the things you got to do to cement yourself as an X-Man is you got to let Logan crack buns. Logan then went through, the joke is that Logan then slept with everybody that's an X-Men. Men, women, kids, animals, it don't matter. You got the mutant gene, Logan got you. And Aurora is on that list. That means all the effort put into issue 3 to have Aurora, she couldn't go to nobody else. She couldn't go to Craig. She couldn't go to T'Challa. All of that where we playing around, footloose and fancy free. Her daughter got black hair. She got pronounced canines and everything like that. All that we went through for this character to be ridiculed. That's what it is. That character is reduced to a joke, a meme. Something that everybody, I smashed Aurora. Not like she's significant. I married Aurora. No, that ain't the joke being told. The joke is she's on somebody's baddies list. That's not her being treated like a queen. That's not her being acknowledged like a goddess. That's her being treated like a random. And we told you that. We told you that was going to happen. We told you that was going to happen. This ain't even part of tonight's show. We told you that was going to happen. And you can't say you don't care. You do care about how that character is viewed. And that character is seen right now as a trick, a joke. Not the woman, just another woman. Nothing special about her. Because if Logan didn't smash Scott, he didn't smash Jingy, he didn't smash Aurora. We tried to tell you. Try to tell you. Ain't nobody on social media talking about how well you wrote that character. They sit up there laughing at how that character is being portrayed. Would say you blame all 3 of them. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at that. Hey, as my ex used to say, we all play a part. We all play a part. Moving right along. I'm like, man, I just shout out to Fly High Chris, talented brother. Y'all catch him if y'all want y'all some laughs and everything like that. And because I think we could use more laughter in the world. That brother is extremely funny. So y'all get a chance to check that out. Y'all do that. Where are we at right now? Moving right along. We in here for a good time tonight, not for a long time. I see people in here. Also, San Diego Comic-Con expectation. Spider-Man, brand new day. Got a lot of folks in it. Had an opportunity to see cross London with the Tombstone look going on and everything. Look like it's gonna be pretty good. Once again, it looked like it's gonna do well week one. The thing is that in Spider-Man Brand New Day, I'm looking at Spider-Man the Brand New Day the same way I looked at Deadpool and Wolverine, the same way I'm looking at Avengers Doomsday. Where does extra money finna come from? Because it's a lot of folks in that movie. I say it's a lot of folks in that movie. Yeah, you got characters. Let me see. You got Tarantula, right? You got Tombstone, right? You got Scorpion, right? Forget the actors that's playing them. Forget that. They are credible to be said, but them characters, okay, that's special effects in them. Everybody gotta get paid. Okay, how we finna get this money back? I'm saying this because I want you to think about what you've done as a moviegoer. If you have been part, you as a fan have been part of a successful movie, what did you do? What if you've been a fan of a movie that didn't perform well? What did you do or didn't do? Ask yourself them questions, because that'll give you a pretty good idea how these movies gonna do. My concern is what happens after week one. That's to a degree that's been the consistent problem with Marvel movies. They week one heavy. It's week 2, week 3, week 4 they fall off. It's the stuff they do after the movie's released in the movie theater that causes them. Week 1 is banging. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, bamming. Okay, what's going on after that? What's going on after that? Because I can tell you, I'm looking at this right now. You better go see these movies more than one time. If you are an MCU fan, you can't say I'm one and done. You cannot. You cannot, because they paying a lot. Go pull up right now and let's see how much they spent on each movie. Go pull up right now and see how much they spent on each movie. And you need to know Tom Holland is getting paid more in this movie than he didn't got paid in other movies. You need to know the cast, the returning cast, they getting paid more in this movie than they did in them first 2 movies. I'm just needing you to know that. And if you think Mark Ruffalo came back for chump change, you got another thing coming. Okay. You better go more than one time. Go more than one time. Go more than one time. If they got a special popcorn bucket, you better buy it. you better buy it, because I'm looking at it and I'm like, ooh. Because where the merch coming from? Kimoyo says, my friend called her Aurora, and I hate that for the character. My friend is a horror. Wow. I had to read that again. I didn't say that right at all. His friend calls Aurora a horror. Wow. And that's from a woman. Wow. They gonna lose money. This is from Kimoyo King. They gonna lose money. They'll spend 700 million plus right now. They gotta make 4 times that to break even. They gotta crack 2.8 billion to see actual profit. There we go. Them gremlins back. So I asked this question because I want folks to understand something. if Black Panther 1 was successful, 1.3 billion, it was. Think about how you moved when you went to go see it. Did you go see it once or did you go see it twice? How many movie tickets did you buy? I didn't just go see it once, right? I bought the Blu-ray, right? I didn't just go see it myself. I paid a ticket. I paid for somebody else's ticket to go see it, right? I bought damn near all the merch, like Kimoyo bead, Black Panther helmet, Black Panther tee, all the Black Panther action figures they dropped and everything. Like, I did my part. I ain't do all that for the second movie. I ain't do all that for the second movie. Okay, when I'm looking at Avengers Doomsday, ain't we already got the Fantastic Four action figures from the MCU? So you don't need them, do you? No, you don't need them. The only action figure you need out that wave, and low key, you don't need it, get it, low key, is the Doctor Doom action figure, the one from the MCU specifically. But say, like me, you already got a Marvel Legends Doctor Doom. Which character from the movie do you need in your Marvel Legends lineup? If you're a nerd, you probably already got shirts with those characters' logos on them. Which one of those characters you already don't have merch about? Where you finish go spin the block again? I'm just asking the question. As Marshawn Lynch say, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Folks can tell you everything, but you never know why folks are telling you stuff. Yeah, you like the movie. How far invested are you in the movie? You like the trailer. I said the trailer looked nice. You finna buy you a new Charles Xavier action figure? If they drop that James Marsden Cyclops, they got money. They got money. But then again, they got money if they drop that Channing Tatum Gambit. Are they going to do that though? And even if they drop a Channing Tatum Gambit, you buying it? You need it? I got Gambit already. I got Gambit. And I'm not the only ones that can say this. I got Gambit. I got Shang-Chi. I got Namor. I got Shuri. I got M'Baku. I got the Fantastic Four. I got Sam Wilson. I got his homeboy, the Falcon. I got Ant-Man. Who am I missing in this equation? I got Thor. So who do I need to spend money on for them to make their money back? I got Steve Rogers. I got Peggy Carter too. Yes, I do have Cyclops. I'll probably get that James Marsden Cyclops because, like I said, I feel like they did my dog dirty. But so see where we at. Oh man, when she said it, she said, I said, say again. She said Aurora. She said, oh, see, I can't even say it right. She said Aurora. I ain't never heard that before, but that sounds like something only a sister would come up with. Like, she gave that a lot of thought. She seriously in her feelings about that one. I don't call Aurora. That's a horror. Damn. That's tough right there. A horror? She need to get that copyright. She do. So yeah, my expectations for San Diego Comic-Con are this. If you like the MCU and you like what the MCU has been offering and everything like that, you're going to continue to love this. That is exactly what that is. And I'm not telling you that you shouldn't. If you are someone who has been looking side-eye at the MCU lately, you're going to continue looking at the MCU side-eyed. It just is what it is. At the end of the day, both sides are dug in. I think the problem is that general audience just needs to come out and say they don't care in ways that comic book fans do care. And that's perfectly understandable. You're not a comic book fan, so you don't care. I don't want to keep vilifying somebody for not reading comic books, and folks shouldn't vilify folks that do read comic books. It's two different sets of expectations. And somewhere along the way, the studio is supposed to meet folks in the middle. They haven't been doing that. I think the comments that have been made coming out of the MCU since they have had the MCU have been detrimental to the MCU. Don't ostracize the comic book fan. Don't encourage folks to ostracize the comic book fan. I think they've done that. And I think comic book, even with some of the snide comments, you could tell when somebody taking a jab, right? They know, and when I say they know, those that are associated with Marvel Studios, they know when comic book fans have an issue. But their job is not to acknowledge the comic book fan. As a matter of fact, their job is to diminish the comic book fan. So they will go above and beyond to take little sneak disses at the comic book fan, as in, we don't care what you say. That's crazy because these characters start in the comic books. Well, I don't want to disparage anybody else. It's supposed to be a coming together type of situation where nerds and general audience members are able to come together and celebrate these characters. That's not what Marvel wants. They've got a movie critic, a movie reviewer on record. Yeah, I'm gonna hold him to that one. You say movies ain't, you say superhero movies ain't for comic book fans. You say it for general audience. Okay, E-Man, I'm gonna hold you right there. I'm gonna hold you right there. That's what you said. These movies not for us. Well, when you say stuff like that out loud and you go above and beyond to promote that type of mindset ideology, comic book fans start saying, okay, cool. Cool. You say the movies ain't for us? The comic books are always cheaper than the movies. Always cheaper than the movies. And comic book fans have a tendency to do something movie fans don't do. Actually buy the merch and have it in a house. So you can go above and beyond to ostracize the comic book fan, tell us you don't need us and everything like that. That's crazy because you would never tell, watch this, you would never tell a football fan you don't need them to come watch the game for you to make money. But over here with us, cool. Have it your way. You like it, I love it. Let me keep up with these notes. Moving right along. Marvel hates the fans. Hey, I'm keeping my money in my pocket. Also working on myself, building up our own brand and everything like that. Hey, you ain't got to, hey, do what you do. Do what you do. Moving right along. Because once again, like I said, I think we got a great show tonight. We have been in here for 43 minutes and 27 seconds. That's crazy. All right. Chadwick Boseman's legacy. I'm going to be mindful how I speak on this one. So to those that aren't aware, I found out today that there's some disagreements going on between Chadwick's widow and Kevin and Derek. Folks are going to say what they're going to say. I'm going to keep it along the lines of being respectful, no differently than when we find out what he passed away from. So we gonna stick to the message. When it came to the colon cancer, what we said was, as Black men, right, because it affects us quicker than our white male counterparts, make sure you get tested. Stay on top of that. Don't take anything for granted. Stay on top of that. All right. And hopefully we learn. Hopefully more of us, as we're getting older, Black men are going to the doctor and we're getting our colon checked, getting those screenings and everything, because that's the lesson. That's the lesson right there. No differently here. There's a lesson. When Chadwick passed away, he didn't have a will. Did not have a will. Now, one, I don't know why we do that. I'm doing it myself, and I can't tell you why. But I know it would be a mess, right? Because even in the best of situations, where everybody is of one accord, your spouse and your family and everything like that, stuff just can happen. Stuff just can happen, right? And so, as we took the lesson, learned the lesson last time in regards to Chadwick, get your colon checked out, go have those screenings and everything like that. If you do not have a will in place today, go get one. As a member of the Marine Corps, that was one of the, as a legal specialist, that was one of the things that I did, was put together wills and piles of attorneys, affidavits and everything like that. You never know when you're going to fall ill. You never know when you're going to just fall. And you need to make sure that you have your affairs in order. And I'm literally preaching to the choir. Like I'm literally talking to y'all, but I'm talking to myself too. Yeah, that is as much as I'm going to say with it about it. I'm hoping everything works out for everybody. My feelings on it is that he loved his brothers, his mom and dad, and he loved his wife. And I would like for all parties to remember that and embrace that and still be able to be together as one. But that's me on the outside looking in, and that's as much as I'm going to say about it. That's as much as I'm going to say about it. So keeping the party moving right along, checking back in on the live chat. We got S. Jaddix in the building. What is going on? And sometimes you got to spend money to make money, and that is the situation the MCU is in. Yeah, absolutely. But I say it's more Kev is desperate to convince his new bosses that he doesn't need too hard to reboot and clear the boards besides Spidey and Deadpool. Speaking of reboot, stay right there. Thank you, S. Jaddix. Speaking of reboot, I do not know how this is going to make some people feel. I don't know. What I do know is this, is that, move my hand from my mouth. What I do know is this, is that we've heard quite a few folks talking about, see, it's going to end up being a hard reboot. Y'all see that what I just dropped out? Yeah, so Kevin Feige, IGN, this comes to us by way of Michael Cripe, July 20th, 4:23 p.m. Kevin Feige denies the MCU will reboot with Secret Wars, points to 2015 comic as nice roadmap for the future. Y'all hear that music playing in the background? How do I say goodbye to what we've had? No, yeah. Kevin Feige denies the MCU will reboot with Secret Wars, points to 2015 comic as nice roadmap for the future. I look to the comics as I always do. Man, if you don't stop saying stuff like that, stop saying stuff like that. Stop. Don't do that no more. Don't stop saying stuff like that. You ain't done nothing in an MCU movie in a minute to convince any comic book fan. You look to the comics. Just don't say that. Just don't say. That's like me trying to convince a Mason I'm a Mason. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige has confirmed that the Marvel Cinematic Universe will not get a full reboot at the Avengers Secret Wars. That's crazy. What did we get now, man? Marvel Studios boss Kevin Feige has confirmed that the Marvel Cinematic Universe will not get a full reboot at the Avengers Secret Wars ties up Phase 6 in 2027. But he does have a few ideas for where to go next. Y'all like his ideas? The ones you've been getting. Because them his ideas. The baseball cap wearing comic book movie mastermind. Oh, Lord, we said a lot then, didn't we? We said a lot then. You say movie mastermind. Like I was with the baseball cap wearing. I was good right there. Comic book movie mastermind. That's I appreciate the vision for wanting to have the whole universe, all the superheroes together. Like I like that vision. That was all that in the bag of chips. But comic book movie mastermind. Oh Lord, that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot. I don't even know how to do that because I took English. I know what them words mean. I know the definition of them words, and I don't think that baseball cap wearing all that applies. That's true. But when we say comic book movie mastermind, ooh, I don't know how to do that one. Anyway, that person teased what's next for Marvel's film ambitions during a conversation with Josh Horowitz of Happy, Sad, Confused. There's been some confusion amongst fans, ain't it though? There's been some confusion amongst fans when it comes to where films like Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars will leave Earth's mightiest heroes upon their premiere. But Feige didn't mince words when asked if next year's team-up film will deliver a reboot. No. No. So we can stop all this speculation and innuendo. No. Kimoyo be telling folks all the time, stop with all them rumors. Stop. If he ain't said it, don't repeat it. Oh, we're going to get a reboot. We're going to get a reboot. You never heard him say it, did you? You heard everything always emergency awesome and some other folks say it, but did the dude, the baseball cap dude, did he ever say it? No. What the baseball dude just tell you? No. No. But I look to the comics as I always do. Ooh, I need you to stop lying. Well, you know what? You did say you look at the comics. You ain't say you read them. Let me continue. As I always do in terms of our storytelling, in both the Secret Wars, but particularly Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars from 10 years ago, there's a nice roadmap to where we can go. You see how I'm turning around right now? What am I covering right now? What am I covering right now? Oh, Secret Wars. What did I cover before we got here? Oh, New Avengers. And what was New Avengers? What should New Avengers have been in the movies? Oh, Doomsday. I don't know if I don't know if you've read the Time Runs Out event. I don't know if you read it, right? I don't know. Oh, I got the reviews on my channel, right? I'm not the only one, but you can't tell me. Well, you can say he looked at a comic, like he looked at the cover, but you can't tell me he read Time Runs Out and this is what he came up with. I mean, you could tell me that. I'm not going to believe it. I'm not going to believe it. In both the Secret Wars, right, but particularly the Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars from 10 years ago, there's a nice roadmap to where we can go. Hickman's Secret Wars was published through 2015 and 2016 and tells a multiverse-ending story involving heroes and villains from across the Marvel Universe. You better not go into specific detail with that one. Have folks looking for stuff when they go to the movies. It also apparently will help guide the ever-expanding MCU after its take on Secret Wars debuts next issue. You know what? So let me throw this out there. What if don't get mad at me. I'm playing what if. What if you see Shooty? You see Shooty walking and everything like that. She walking, she meet the Fantastic Four. You got that, right? Shooty survive. Shooty make it through Doomsday. I said deleting her was just cheap in the moment. That's what I said. Now we got a Fantastic Four, right? Got a Fantastic Four. What would y'all do? Say Theo. No, let's play. Let's play. What would y'all do if we happen to see an Infinity Gauntlet or something that takes the place of said Infinity Gauntlet? And we're in Secret Wars. We're in Secret Wars, not to be confused with Doomsday, right? Not to be confused with Doomsday. So Shooty and to knock her water at more. They find Benjamin Cumberbatch Sanctum Sanctorum. And Shooty comes across the Infinity Gauntlet. And it's Shooty going up against Vic, Vice T'Challa, while Reed figures stuff out with Owen Reese, the Molecule Man. And when Reed figures everything out, Shooty goes like this. Huh? And Shooty takes everything back to before T'Challa passed away. You know, that solves a lot of problems. That solves a lot of problems. I'm going to tell you, because if that's what takes place in Secret Wars, Shooty uses the Infinity Gauntlet or something that's supposed to be the Infinity Gauntlet, and she go, and she take everything back to before T'Challa passed away. You do not have a Toussaint. You do not have a TJ. You do not have Nakia pregnant and everything like that. And you literally got T'Challa standing right there in front of Shooty with another actor's face. Damson Idris. Y'all sure y'all don't? Kevin, you sure you don't? You sure you don't want to? Because I said it today, I'm going to say it again. You can hire me at half the price of what y'all had Nate Moore, and the return on your investment is going to be sick. I know y'all might not, I know y'all might kind of be, not want to, Bo DeMaio, Nate Moore. I understand you might kind of be iffy with brothers and everything like that, but I'm just telling you, half the change. Because I'm like Michael Jordan, I'm going to go get my other money from someplace else. But yeah, half the change, you wouldn't believe the type of money y'all make. you wouldn't believe it. Let me keep up with these notes. Well, we know he lies. He stated times runs out in Secret Wars as the blueprint. It's a reboot. They meant masterminds don't F up like that. I mean, Kevin's just babbling. He already tried to do what comes after Secret Wars in the MCU. Phases 4 and 5 was basically all new, all different, just without Miles. Yep. So yeah, dang. Yeah, let me keep up with this. Because I like this article right here. It's putting a smile on my face. Let me keep going. Because I didn't write this article. There's been some confusion amongst fans when it comes to where films like Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars will leave Earth's Mightiest Heroes upon their premiere. We still got Earth's Mightiest Heroes? Don't look like it. But Feige didn't mince words when asked if next year's team-up film would deliver a reboot. No, he said, but he looks for the roadmap, talks about Hickman's Secret Wars. It debuts next year. Longtime MCU watchers weren't sure what the event could bring to the live-action movie universe, with a reboot being one idea that's been on the minds of many. Why would fans be looking for there to be a reboot? Oh, right. Because we're not rebooting it if it's still successful. Wouldn't be no reason to at all. Feige has danced around the subject before, saying in 2025 that while the upcoming X-Men movie will help reset the MCU, it won't necessarily be a reboot. Reboot is a scary word. No, it's not. He told Variety at the time, reboot can mean a lot of things to a lot of people, not to the nerds. Reset, singular timeline. We're thinking about those lines. X-Men is where they will happen next. Okay. Theories of a potential MCU reboot were backed up when just last month, DoomsDay and Secret Wars co-director Joe Russo said this year's Avengers film would put the cinematic universe back to phase 0. Oh, there goes that. Look, we were with Robert Downey Jr. earlier today. He told the Hollywood Reporter, we were both talking about this concept that we are back to phase 0. This is starting over from scratch. We want to make sure everybody, you mean comic book fans too? We want to make sure everybody feels like this isn't leaning on anything from the past. We don't. We don't feel like it's leaning on anything. I'm sorry. Despite promising yet another celebrity field clash big enough to crash the multiverse, we know distressingly little about Secret Wars so far. That's crazy. Comic book fans know more than a little. It was only today we got to see a proper Doomsday trailer ahead of its premiere later this year. With Dr. Doom looking to make quite the impact on the MCU, Secret Wars itself is sure to introduce fans to a totally new chapter to the superhero universe. Can we talk about that? Can we spin the block back on the Doomsday trailer? Where's T'Challa? We don't feel like the intergalactic empire is significant to T'Challa's storyline. Wakanda. We don't think that's significant. We don't think that matters. That we don't think it matters that he was the one that reformed the Illuminati. It wasn't Shorty, wasn't Tony, wasn't Thor, Odin's son. It wasn't Steve. We don't think that. I know what folks gonna say. It ain't got to be one for one. Shut up. Don't come on this live and say nothing like that. Don't even leave a comment like that. You're gonna get blocked, muted, whatever. We don't think that's important. It's crazy how we keep. Never mind. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that because it don't matter. It don't matter. And now I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna say this. Kimoyo gonna understand where I'm coming from. I know why we can't have stuff. I know why we can't have stuff. I know why certain folks don't win elections. I know to a degree why certain folks don't have the same rights the other folks got. I do. Because we ain't gonna ever, you know what? I'm probably not in my lifetime, but folks whose origin hail from Africa, they don't know how to be united. Like they can't, ooh, Lord, it's way more gray in there than black. Folks from Africa don't know how to be united. And I'm saying folks from Africa, whether they still live in Africa or live anywhere else in the world, I'm saying that whether they were taken from Africa or voluntarily moved from Africa, folks that call themselves black do not know how to unite black. They don't. They don't. Ooh, Lord, they don't. They're going to keep finding a reason. I cannot believe that it is 2026 and I went to go see Spike Lee's Not Do the Right Thing, but School Days. I cannot believe that I have lived long enough to see me and mine divide ourselves on hair texture, skin color, and I'm talking about black folks. Divide ourselves on hair texture, skin color, and now where you at? We ain't gonna ever have nothing. We ain't gonna ever have nothing. We ain't, because we don't know how to protect ours. We don't know how to walk lockstep. We don't know how to be unified. We don't. We just want to be better than the next brother or sister. That's what that is. We just want to be better than the next brother or sister. You ain't concerned about all of us having this. It's why folks can do and get away with stuff that they get away with. We ain't gonna ever stand together like folks in the Confederacy stand together. We ain't gonna ever stand together like neo-Nazis stand together. We not, because we gonna, my hair better than yours. Well, I'm lighter than you. I'm darker than you. Or I'm pure African. Or I'm African American. Oh, we ain't gonna ever get it. We ain't gonna ever get it. I cannot believe the arguments we be having, and I'm like, but you're using a smart device though. You using a smart device. Like you don't want to use it to be smart? Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Never mind. So you would take $150,000 a year plus bonuses from box office tax? Yeah, I'm gonna get my money. Let me see. If Kimoyo, if you asking me about taking that job, listen, you can pay me $150,000 a year, but you good. You good. I'm guaranteed. Listen, Theo. Yes, yeah. What movie you green lighting and fast tracking? Alpha Flight. Who picking the cast? You or Kevin? Me. I got complete autonomy. Yeah. I got complete autonomy on this one and everything like that. And we're gonna get our money back and everything. We're gonna drop the Alpha Flight action figures. We done already hit up Hasbro and everything like that. We coming back with them. You not gonna do no MCU action figures? If I can find an MCU costume that fits in with the Alpha Flight action figures, I'm gonna do that. But yeah, we coming back. We gonna get all our money back. We gonna get all our money back. Oh, I'm dropping shirts with half the Canadian flag on it and everything like that. The white shirt, yeah. I'm dropping shirts with Aurora and North Star, you know, that nice little funky design and everything like that. Yeah, you'll be able to get them. You'll be able to get them. I'm damn sure dropping a wind shear action figure. Yeah, I got to get that. I got to get that. A black Canadian, yeah, I need that in my life. Yeah, a Shaman action figure. Yeah, we gonna get that. Well, hold on. What's Shaman's daughter name? I don't know why I keep forgetting his daughter name and everything. We need that. Nice female action figure and everything like that. Yeah, we need that. Shaman's daughter. Got to put that in that daughter. 616. What's the code name? Talisman. Yeah, we need a Talisman action figure. Sure do. We need that. We need that. But yeah, right there and there. I'm dropping Alpha Flight right then. Right there. And I ain't even got to overcook the grits. We say, Theo, no, I ain't got to overcook the grits. It's a monster right there. Yeah, we can tell the origin of Snowbird and get all that and everything. I ain't even got to bring the X-Men into this. Ain't got to bring the X-Men into this. Thus, I ain't got to bring Logan into this. We got us a nice little movie. And then give you the trailer, or give you the nice little, the end credit scene, where they say at the end, we got to go get Logan. Yeah, I just... You would have to approve any costumes for the end. Yeah. Man, listen. Complete autonomy, Kevin. I'm telling you. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. I get you change, but I get the MCU turned back around for you. Because I'm not just a comic book fan. I'm also a movie fan. Yeah, moving right along. I ain't gonna belabor the point. We're not gonna do that. Because we got some more stuff in here to talk about. Well, yeah, that's y'all like it. I love it. Here we go. We were just discussing the new Avengers, T'Challa's role. I had been segued into that and everything. No T'Challa. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how to feel about that. Did y'all like Batman's, the way they treated Batman in Flashpoint? Because that wasn't supposed to be Bruce, that was supposed to be Thomas. Did y'all like that? I ain't there for it. I don't think I was the only one. Was it that you just didn't like the way the movie was, or you didn't like Bruce and Clark not necessarily being in the movie? Because they weren't. If you had a problem with Flashpoint, you should understand why some folks might have a problem with this. Mind you, they went above and beyond everything always. Just told you 8 days ago, this movie is a mess. This is why I'm laughing. Because if you rock with everything always, you know he just said this 8 days ago in the trailer, a trailer with a few clips, as opposed to a table with a whole bunch of clips. Marvel has convinced you they got themselves a winner. How? Remember Logan? Remember Logan? The first solo Wolverine movie? It was the first 5 minutes of the movie that was good, wasn't it? I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Moving right along, Kevin Feige. What? Wait, what'd he say? Theo, no. No. We're going to go back and take a look at this. Didn't he say he looked to the comics? Well, why he didn't look to the comics for Blade? If he looked to the comics, why he didn't look? Because he's saying, I feel like the biggest loser with Blade. I told y'all 2 years ago that movie wasn't coming out. I told y'all 2 years ago that movie wasn't coming out. I told you why that movie wasn't coming out. I asked why that movie wasn't coming out, because if you do not know what to do, because that's what he kept saying, I don't know what to do. Okay, redo the first Blade movie. Redo the second Blade movie. Bryan Hill has a 10-issue run right there that reads just like a Blade movie, and that 10-issue run is better than the third Blade movie by far. Pick one, dude. I don't think Mahershala Ali would have been upset if he had to redo the first Blade movie. I don't think Mahershala Ali would have been upset if he had to redo the second Blade movie. He wanted fight scenes in it. And knowing that the dude played collegiate basketball, my bad, bro. Clearly, I was asleep. You don't want to see Mahershala Ali one-on-one in no basketball. You not in you don't play basketball, he gonna hurt your feelings. The fact that they sat right there. So you look to the comics, huh? You look to the comics, you got a surefire hit right there. That 10-issue run by Bryan Hill. I ain't heard anybody yet complain about that 10-issue run that they read by Bryan Hill, and you didn't even look at it. Bruh, I'm going to say it one more time. You could hire me for half the change. You hired Nate, you was paying Nate more. I just need complete autonomy. As in, I will come to you when I need advice from you, but I don't want necessarily your opinions, because I don't trust your opinions because you don't read comics. That was an easy win. That was an easy win. Anybody read that run by Brian Hill is looking at like, how did you fumble the bag? There should have been no way you didn't have a movie with those 3 blade projects sitting out there. No mind. Feige has one chance to unduck his decision. He has to march a new T'Challa out on stage and specify that it's the son of T'Chaka. I agree. That'll get you back. Now, that'll get him a round of applause, Kimoyo, in my opinion. I don't necessarily know if that gets the MCU back on track, because if we sit up there and we look and we're being, critical thinkers and everything like that, he doesn't need to be left to his own devices, because he don't know where to stop. He don't know where to stop. Hiring people that don't know the source material, that's irresponsible. That's irresponsible. And I get it, because I'm of the mindset, and this is where folks gonna be like, Theo, don't say it. No. I'm gonna say the quiet part out loud. Jerry Jones got rid of Jimmy Johnson for a reason. The Dallas Cowboys have been stuck in purgatory for a reason. Jerry Jones wants the credit. He don't want nobody else getting the credit. He don't want the coach getting the credit. He's not too pressed about the players getting the credit. The only way he's comfortable with the players getting the credit is if he either A, drafted the player, and or B, signed the player and he's paying the player. Other than that, Jerry Jones ain't really particular about anybody outside of Jerry Jones getting credit for the Dallas Cowboys being successful. Jerry Jones played football. Jerry Jones ain't never been a football coach. Jerry Jones was on a football team. Jerry Jones is not the agent who analyzes the talent for the football team, but he wants all of the credit for doing stuff like that. Well, okay, all right, let's be great. I know Dallas Cowboy fans ain't feeling too good, and I know y'all can be like, well, Theo, what about you and the Steelers? Stop it. You know we ain't had a quarterback worth a doggone in a minute. Moving right along, because we did not come in here to stay for a long time. As we alluded to earlier, the Marvel Legends Doomsday wave, for that to be successful, they're going to have to lean heavily into the comics. I think if this wave is mostly predicated or halfway predicated on the MCU versions of these characters, it's going to be a lot of peg warmers. A lot of peg warmers. That said, where are we at now? Ryan Clark. So, I think today is Wednesday. Tuesday, Ryan Clark was released from ESPN. He was in the midst of doing a show. Last 5 minutes left. I've seen folks not really play that full clip of when him and Peter Schrager got into it. I know the conversation was in regards to the CeeDee Lamb, AJ Brown. Talked about this over there on Facebook. And you had the players on there. Teddy Bruschi was on there. Dan Orlovsky was on there. Mike Green was on there and everything like that. And you had Ryan Clark. And if I understand the extent of the conversation, CeeDee Lamb it was either CeeDee Lamb or AJ Brown only had one target. However, that one target resulted in them winning the game. And Peter Schrager was, I guess the aesthetics, how it looked. Did somebody have a bad game? And the other players, analysts, former players, were trying to speak to, because I heard Teddy Bruschi was like, when did the one reception occur? It's a fair question. Late in the game, they needed it. He caught it. Ryan says, you know, hey, I wish we wouldn't do this on TV. He said, and I'm apologize if this is going to sound rude, but that's the non-player in you. And I've heard how folks have tried to spin that, especially Buddy, who has nothing good to say about black folks, even though he is black himself. Jason Whitlock said that was the black woman crying. No, that was the player. Those of us that have played sports, to some of us, our individual stats only matter if we lose. Right? Like if we win a game, I only had one target, so be it. We won. If we lose the game and I only had one target, that's a problem. By and large, that's how players think. We get up the next morning, if I'm playing in the same division with the Dallas Cowboys, I'm playing with the Philadelphia Eagles, the Washington Commanders, or the New York Giants. I don't care if CeeDee Lamb or AJ Brown only had one target in a game. I don't care about that. Did they win that last game? Because if we're behind them, then there's one more game they have up on us. We don't care about the individual stats. And if I'm that football player that's truly a team player, I don't care about my individual stats like that. Did we win the game? The only person that stats matter to like that is a selfish individual that's playing on a team and the fans of said player. That's why Peter Schrager said, I'm a credible journalist, but you also play fantasy football. You do play fantasy football. That's part of y'all stick. You've been talking about fantasy football. Well, fantasy football only matters to the fantasy football owners. The stats only matter to the journalists. The team player that's trying to get to the Super Bowl, as long as they get there. Now, I get it. We understand that. There's a little bit difference there when we're talking about folks like a Walter Payton. We're already in the Super Bowl, and he's not given one opportunity to punch the ball in. That's different. You won, you want to make a potential, you want to participate. But even when we look at how that story was framed, Walter Payton was disappointed. He didn't act like a diva. He was disappointed. He never got one chance. It's bad enough New England was focusing on him when they were in the middle of the field, but right there in the end zone, right there, instead of letting Refrigerator Perry block for him so he could get in the end zone, they decided to do something completely different. No differently than with Marshawn Lynch and the Seattle Seahawks. Man, I'm running. I'm busting my butt. I'm in beast mode. Do you think Marshawn Lynch and the Seattle Seahawks are feeling the way that they feel if Russell Wilson drops back, hits that slant, and is 6 and they win? This is a completely different story. This is a completely different story. And those of us who have played team sports, we know it. Those of us who do not know what that's like, sometimes we subject to say, hey, said individual might be feeling like they had a bad game, or fans might be feeling like said individual had a bad game. Fans that have played the game before, we don't look at it like that. So you got that interaction. Well, regardless of whether you've had the interaction or not, right? I just explained it to you. You may or may not care. There's a right way and a wrong way. They knew they were going to let Ryan Clark go before Monday. Ryan Clark could have got called up on his phone Friday night, all day Saturday, all day Sunday. Ryan Clark could have been told before they did the show, hey, we've decided to go in another direction. So I'm not trying to hear that they felt like rumors might have gotten out that he was fired while he was on the show. No, there's a way you could have prevented this. They decided not to. There's a right way and there's a wrong way. There's also something to be said about respect. I would be remiss in my duties as a griot if I didn't say I've noticed that respect for your fellow man has started declining. We don't respect one another, regardless of what the credentials are. We don't give one another the same respect we would want others to give us. We don't. And we're being encouraged to do that on a daily basis. I'm not going to get into the whys and what fors and everything like that. You see the way the world moving just like I see the way the world moving. So that is what that is. We got one more topic and we're going to get on up out of here. Keeping up with these notes and everything like that. Make sure I do my due diligence. Did Ryan dirty? Yeah. I feel like that. I feel like there was a better way to go about that. That's me. Last but not least, facts. Uncaring and non-debatable. In the past few weeks, myself, my brother, Dora, we talked about, hey, it's either canon or it's not. Me and Kimoyo have talked about how folks just stay on Twitter arguing all day, every day, twice on Sunday. What for? That's why I say it's either canon or it's not. Here just recently, was it last night? Night before last. Yeah, Afro Think Tank. He was talking about FBA. He's not with it. Safe space, safe space. But facts are facts. Safe space, safe space, but facts are facts. Race is man-made. A man invented it. That man was from Germany. That man determined the races based on where you were from, the shape of your skull. Even with that, that man did not believe one race was superior to the other. Those are facts. Though I don't know how to debate anything other than that. I've heard folks want to go so far as to point out that Elon Musk is African. Elon Musk is African only in the fact that I'm an American. He was born in America. He was born in Africa. His family relocated to Africa. They're not from Africa. So if I am an African American because my lineage starts in Africa, his lineage starts in Europe. So Elon Musk would be a European African. His daddy's folks are from Liverpool, England. That's a fact. So when you start wanting to say stuff, you at the very least got to know what you're talking about. Facts don't require debates, and they don't care if you like them or not. The facts are the facts. You cannot be foundationally from America and be black. That makes you red. That makes you red. You cannot tell somebody to go back where they come from if you live in America unless you're red. If you can't use race but not know what you're talking about when it comes to race. You can't quote race as being a qualifying factor when it's not. It's man-made. It's fictional. When you start wanting to have these conversations about race, make sure the person you're wanting to have the conversation with about race isn't smart. I'm saying isn't smart because you come out better having a racial discussion with a stupid person. You're going to hear anything, everything you want to hear with that person. The intelligent person is going to first say, you realize that's man-made, right? They're not going to have the conversation with you you want them to have. Now, let me say this. If you've been living long enough, you've been done wrong by quite a few people, whether they look like you or not. Somehow, I'm struggling with the fact that a former pimp, a two-bit hustler, and an R&B singer got black folks looking at black folk harsher than they look at anybody else. That's his fact. This dude has literally got you more suspicious of folks that look like you than folks that don't. To the point where you're quoting it. And I get why, because the media would tell you they don't like you. But the media is also telling them we don't like them. The media is telling them, oh, Black Americans don't trust you. But the media is also telling us Africans don't trust Black Americans. The media has been going above and beyond to say Black Americans are lazy. Do you know what the media has been saying about Black Americans? I'm sorry, about blacks from Africa since I was a kid? They're uncivilized. So what you telling me is you bought into it. Hook, line, and sinker. Even though you can see folks in America that don't look like you, that act and look uncivilized all day long. A young lady even went so far as to call them scammers and hustlers. Really? Only Africans are scammers and hustlers? Really? And you say that as a foundational Black woman. I wonder if you've ever been in a relationship, was it a Black African that cheated on you, or was it a foundational Black American that cheated on you? I wonder, when you got into an argument with a Black person here in America, was it with somebody that was a foundational Black American, or was it somebody that was a Black African? Because I know the assumption she made about me, looking at my profile pic, and I was looking nice, shout out to Brian Graphics, was that I was a tether baby. Is that I was an immigrant who just got here. And that's the stupidity that Tariq Nasheed got more than enough Black Americans believing, that any other Black American that disagrees with them, oh, they must be immigrants too. You know what that sound like? That sound like that xenophobic nonsense Donald Trump pushing. That's what that sound like. That sound like the same thing. That same rhetoric. That's why we can't have nothing. Mind you, all I did was state to you was facts. What you can't do is argue the facts. You can get mad at them. You can't argue them, though. You definitely can't debate them. And facts don't care whether you like them or not. They're facts. You ain't got to like them. But you know what you got to do? With facts, that is. You got to acknowledge them. You got to acknowledge them. You ain't got to like them. You ain't got to like Roman Reigns. But what does he say? Acknowledge me. You ain't got to like that speed limit say 55 miles an hour, but there is somebody that will pull you behind over and make you acknowledge that speed sign. Let me see where I'm at. Where we at? An hour 34? Yeah, because we did not come up here for a long time at all. No, we didn't. That FBA storytell, I can't call it logic. It's programming at its finest. I don't know how they be coming away with that. I think they were making an example out of him because of him keeping it a buck. I wish we had our own. I wish we had that satellite in the sky. Jay-Z, You talking about Colin Kaepernick and everything like that. You talking about he taking a knee. How about you and the rest of y'all get together and launch that satellite in the sky so we can have our own independent programming? Please and thank you. Next time you want to do a concert and you want to say something significant, you want to say something important, impactful in regards to our people, a satellite in the sky would be nice so we can have our own individual programming. And you and your wife got it. Y'all got it. Y'all got it. Or you know some folks you can make it happen with. Right. Colin ain't got nothing to do with that, big dog. Colin ain't got nothing to do with that. That's how we out. We are out. We came in for a good time, not to be confused with a long time and everything like that. I hope you got what you was looking for. I had my coffee. I got my cookies. I got my soda. I know y'all like, and fat boy, that sounds like fat boy food. Hey, don't. It is what it is. That said, I'm out. Everybody, it was a safe space, but we can be safe spaces and we can disagree, but the truth is hard to disagree with. You ain't got to like it. I done came across some stuff I don't like either. I don't like the fact that the New England Patriots got more Super Bowls than the Steelers do. I don't like that. It's the truth. It's the truth. I don't like the fact that folks ain't really rocking with R. Kelly music no more, but it is what it is. So, truth ain't for you to be like. No, you got to. That said, I'm out. Thank y'all so much. Like I said, we packing. We packing. Tomorrow we gonna be going to go look at some places and everything like that and make it do what it's gonna do. Hopefully we can find something near where we at right now. If not, we gonna see what we can do. But we are packing. So, and hopefully y'all like. Wait, did I forget the new breed? The new breed, the Nation and the new breed. I don't know if y'all been checking, but we got the Nation. That's a group of superheroes. Going to start rolling out stories with them, right? Members from the Rock With Me Nation have donated themselves to be a part of this superhero group. That will be your Justice League type of group. That's what that's going to be. And then we got the new breed, My Original. Happy about that. Shout out to Lonnie, Dark City Comics, giving me that inspiration and everything like that. Yeah, we got the new breed characters I actually created when I was in the 5th grade. Yes, Lord Hammers. With that. They will be like your new warriors. With all different team types. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be something like that. I don't want to call them street level. That ain't because I got my own stories in mind and everything like that. So I'm looking forward to that. We have not forgot about the stories with the fan fiction in regards to Black Panther, T'Challa. We have not forgot about that. We are going to be bringing that to y'all and everything like that. So just hold on to what you got. We are going to be bringing you more and more superhero Black Panther related content. Hopefully you enjoy it. We're doing everything we can to make this your one-stop shop for all things Black Panther, Wakanda related. Dash Pater, thoughts on Avenger Doomsday trailer? Appreciate you pulling up, big dog. Appreciate you. I liked it. Like I said, I know why I'm not checking for the MCU, but that's me. But I can easily see why folks enjoyed the trailer. I can. Now, with me saying why I know why folks enjoyed the trailer. I'm also a nerd. I'm a comic book fan. Not only have I read the new Avengers, which is what this story is based on, I've also reviewed those stories. I've read Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars, and I'm currently reviewing Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars. So as a Black Panther fan, and I definitely appreciate you pulling up, I know the first incursion takes place in Wakanda. So this is giving me very much who is in Jobu vibes all over again. I'm looking at my favorite character for the umpteenth time, not for the first time, the umpteenth time, their contribution to Marvel Comics being disparaged, if that makes sense to you. So the trailer looked nice. If I was somebody that did not know the comics, if I was somebody that did not know T'Challa's role in this, I'd be like, oh yeah, man, I got to get me some of that right there. But I know. I know. So I'm right there with it. I'm not bashing the movie. I'm not knocking it. But if anybody wants to know the differences between the movies and what happened in the comic books, I'll be more than happy to tell them. And you go from there. You do that right there. So that's my thoughts on the trailer. Hopefully that makes sense. That said, I'm out. Thank y'all so much. Like, share, subscribe. If you have any other topics you would like me to discuss, MCU, Black Panther, James Gunn, just let a brother know, and I'll be more than happy to do that. We nerds. We're nerds. So this is a safe space. This is a safe space. So we can discuss this stuff. We ain't got to agree. That ain't what that's about. It's about sharing knowledge. That's what nerds do. We share knowledge. That's what we're going to do. We don't always like the knowledge that we share with one another, but it don't matter. It is what it is. That said, remember the late, great Don Cornelius. You see him, Chadwick Boseman. Until next time, whether we agree or not, I wish each and every last one of y'all love, peace, and soul. We out.